without further ado, here is our guy, two-time Super Bowl champion, Mike the Beast Pennel. What's up, Mike? How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, brother?
What's up, Mike? What's going down, big bro? How you doing?
Well, brother, good to see you. Good to see you. Glad to be here.
Good. I see, man. You how many shirts you got like that, man? You always showing the guns. You know that's what it is, ain't it? Huh?
You look like you understand the struggle. We gotta go sleeveless most of the time. We coming fresh from the workout.
Look, we know this. Hey, man, you got a good attribute, man. You supposed to show those things off, right? I mean, you just ain't getting in the weight room just to get into shape. You got to, hey, look, you want to show everybody how you've been working in the weight room to get into shape, right?
He owned something there.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, sir, Mike. Man, hey, look, man, welcome to the show, man. Chief Concerns, and the family, everybody's coming in here kind of in the chat. We got a good following, man, of people just that are real football fans, Chiefs fans, love the team, love you guys, what y'all been able to show, what you've been able to do. For us, what we have on this side of it, for somebody who's played the game for a long period of time, is actually open up the locker room a little bit, give everybody so they can see you, actually see your face, see who you are. I mean, I think sometimes, man, that's what people actually miss. They don't really get to see the personalities of who guys really are, truly. So,
yeah, yes.
Mm-hmm. But
yes. So before we came on, so Mike and I were talking a little bit and just looking at your biography. You were born in Topeka and you actually grew up a Chiefs fan. And I was telling him, Mike, like usually when I'm talking to players when they first come on, I was like, oh yeah, so JD, played for the team and all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, I know. I grew up watching JD.
Is that right? Okay.
Oh yeah, that was a heyday, man. Priest Holmes, JD, Neil Smith, Trent Green, man. I was watching, man. I was watching. It was hard being a fan in Denver, but I stayed true.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I know they gave you a whole lot of business over there, man. We ain't quite like them donkeys, man. You know how it is.
Right.
So we always got to give it to them.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So, Mike, man, let me ask you a question, man. One of the things that we talked about kind of on our show was how happy we were that the Chiefs had re-signed you. Okay. And I was sitting there telling Marcus when I heard this news, because we were just talking about, how the offseason goes. We don't quite know what's going on behind the scenes. And then all of a sudden, hey, they re-signed Mike Pennel. And I'm just like, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what we need. And so sometimes trying to keep those core group of guys together, trying to make that run is important. It's vital to the things that you're trying to achieve. And what I want to just tell you, and I told you this off the field, backstage, is I just want to commend you, man, for the amount of time that you done put in to play football. And I don't think people quite understand how much of a rare breed you are, a rare bird, because of your longevity. To be able to be in the league up to 12 years, but more importantly, to be here with the Chiefs. And I just say this all the time, Mike, just watching you, because I grade the game every week, okay? And I always talk about Mike, don't I, Marcus? And I'm just like, man, look, Mike, what Mike did this week. Look what he was able to go out there and do. And sometimes what people tend to do, they tend to look at sometimes sack numbers and all these other things. And I'm just like, I don't think people quite understand how much of an impact that Mike and other guys are making for other guys that are getting sacks or able to do what they're able to do, right? So one thing I just want to tell you, man, I just want to commend you that for the work, man, and the things you've been doing out there on the Chiefs. But I'm so happy, man, that they got you back. They got you back, man, for this run, man. So tell a little bit about that, man, how you feel and how the year went for you last year, so.
Yeah, I mean, once again, I appreciate that, JD. I mean, I watch a lot of the things that you talk about. I'm a guy that's always in the shadows watching. I always know what's going on. I appreciate that you have a true, understanding of the game from, a scheme side, a personality side, a people side of what goes on the football field. So I appreciate that a lot. This past year coming back, man, I just came into the role of, finally year 11, kind of, being a veteran, understanding that it's more about, doing my job and having, the guys, the younger guys, and teaching them where my mistakes were and things that I could do to make my career excel and everything that I've been to help them. So I took that seriously last year. And being in, the Kansas City locker room and that system with Coach Reed, Spags, Joe Cullen, I mean, it's very, very high demand. And that's from everybody. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, Nick Bolton, like everybody is Trent McDuffie, everybody is commanded to perform at the top level as a whole. It's not just depending on one guy, it's a team and a group effort. So this year, man, I really just wanted to, prove, that I was still able to play at a high level this far into my career. Took more time in the scheme, and I wanted to be more impactful on younger players coming up in the Chiefs culture and the system. I didn't really realize it too much because I'm not really a guy that, as you know, I'm not really a big media guy. I try to steer away from the interviews. I just love playing football. I love being around the guys. But it took, some coaches telling me and some people around the building just how much of an impact that I could have, just from my words and my experiences other than what I'm doing on the field as I transition to later in my career. So I just took that very seriously this year. Last year, I mean, and this year as well, even more. Just taking that seriously and then just finding out, kind of what you want to do after the game a little bit. You understand, JD, that end is kind of like, do I want to be a part of this? Do I not want to be a part of this? And just being around the guys, it really helped me make that decision in my head that I want to, step into that role, help guys, help players be successful from rookie to middle of their career to all the way to the end. And just, you know, eventually when I get done, I want to coach. I want to help young guys in the NFL and, not let them make the same mistakes I did, put them on all the free game they need so they can be successful for their team, for their family, So, I mean, that's just where more last year really took that role and kind of took that on, full head of steam, and I enjoyed it.
Brother, man, I tell you what, you answered. I had like 5 questions for you. You answered every single one of them, just in that one right there. Seriously, one of them was I was going to ask you what you thought about doing after football. You thought about coaching, and you just said it. But that was another question I had for you was how do you feel like your responsibility was to the young guys that were there on the team and the younger guys coming in? You fit in that role. How did you feel about it? And I mean, you said it perfectly. You absolutely said it perfectly. And the thing is, man, Mike, for the life of me, I've heard other guys, okay, on other teams. I ain't gonna say no names. That said they don't feel like it's their responsibility to teach young guys. Right? It's like, oh well, I'm gonna let a guy trying to find out on his own. I'm like, well, why would you want to do that? Did somebody teach you when you came in? Hopefully, somebody helped you out or showed you the way when you came in and brought you a young rook. Come over here. Let me talk to you a little bit. Let me just put some in the ear, just tell you how to kind of conduct yourself, carry yourself. And I just thought, man, if a guy that is in his later years doesn't understand the responsibility, man, he's doing a disservice, not just only to the guys, but to himself, right? So, man, that was an absolute perfect answer, brother. Perfect answer. See, and I know, man, I could tell that you're a football guy. I told you, man, I could just tell, man, that you're a football dude through and through. And like just your personality just comes out. You could just see it. And like you said, behind the shadows and stuff. But I think the reason that the Chiefs brought you back is because they understood your worth. They understood your value. They understood, like you said, the impact that you would make. Joe Cullen, Spags, I played against Spags, for a number of years. I know Spags, man, talked to that joker. So I already know how Spags feels about things. You know what I mean? But I think it's very important, like you said, them understanding and knowing a Mike Pennel in our locker room is going to help us get there. It's going to help the younger guys get to where he's at to understand what this business is all about. Mm-hmm. So I tell you what, man, that was a perfect answer. I tell you, man, you just ran about 5 questions down. I'm like, daggone, there's 1, 2, 3, So,
yeah. Hey, to your point, man, playing in the league a long time, you see a lot of guys who do it right. You see a lot of guys who do it wrong. I feel like as a veteran, if you make it past, a certain point of that 10-year mark, you got to make a decision what type of veteran you're going to be. I was very, very fortunate to, coming to the NFL in Green Bay and have B.J. Raji and Julius Peppers, Clay Matthews, Aaron Rodgers. Like, these guys really were in their prime, established, like, the height of their careers in the All-Star commercials, all that. And these guys took time to talk to an undrafted free agent about, the progression and the steps I need to take to be successful in the NFL. If you wanted to play 3 years or 10 years, these guys told me the guys that did it wrong, the guys that do it right, how you should carry yourself, and how you should want to see the younger people that, you helped and from that rookie year be successful. So, I mean, being in Kansas City all the way from 19, I mean, I was with Colin Sanders with his rookie year. After that, Tershawn Wharton. After that, Mike Dana, and just being in the room with these guys and seeing them take that next step to that second contract, no matter if it's here, no matter if it's somewhere else. I mean, that's the most fulfilling thing I get out of my career now. Because, I mean, these guys, and JD understands, you these young guys that don't understand nothing about the game, they technique off, they don't know what they're doing outside the field. But I mean, you see them growing to men, and you see that the advice they came and seek from you is actually what they implemented, and it made them successful. Man, that's a feeling that I can't even measure. So proud of all them guys, man. Like truly. I mean, and how the Chiefs locker room is, we all stay in contact. We're all brothers, you know what I mean? So it's real. It's almost unreal. It's like a professional high school team that just everybody knows each other. Everybody's family's always around each other. Everybody knows each other's kids. So I've been a lot of different places, and nowhere else is like that. And the uniqueness of being in Kansas City, man. I mean, no wonder why these guys have the success that they're having. It's crazy to see.
Yeah, and you can tell the difference between organizations too. And you've been around to a few places to kind of tell exactly the difference in the locker room. Upper management, how they treat each other. Is it a good relationship, or how do they actually, do they respect you? Do they value you, or are you just kind of some guy? One thing I had to say this about the Hunt family, from playing I was out there in Kansas City for 8 years, and Lamar, he knew every guy's name. He knew our families. He knew your mother, your sister. He knew all of it. And he would come down after the game, shake your hand, and ask how you were doing. And you knew it was personable. You knew it wasn't just fluff, right? Some guy, hey, how you? No, he was like, how you doing? How's your mom and stuff, right? And so I think that atmosphere and environment that they try to foster a lot for guys is why a reason a lot of guys don't want to leave Kansas City. That's the reason guys want to stay around Kansas City if they can, right? So if you know that you've been somewhere and you know what you know, right? It's like, hey, man, look, this is the spot. If you want to be anywhere, this is the spot to come to. So I just let me ask you about Amenahu, okay? I seen Amenahu out there last year at the game. I talked to him when he was hurt. He was just trying to get back, man. He was like, yo, big dog, man, I'm just trying to get back. I said, man, I can see the passion right there in your eyes. I can see that. And I know for him, the patience of trying to wait for the contract and all these things to happen. I'm sure he came to you, asked you like, man, what do you have to do? And I'm sure like you as a older gentleman saying, hey, look, sometimes you got to play your cards the way that you had to play them to get what you want. And sometimes it's just that patience you got to do. And I could see that. I could see those relationships that you had. That one little video, I don't know if you've seen the little video that we kind of shared. I think it was then at the Super Bowl. But you was talking to George Kalafkis. You was kind of making fun of a lot of different guys. And I said, man, I could tell how everybody looks at Mike. I could tell they looking at Mike like
it's a good time always.
Mike's the one to keep the room going all the time.
Yeah, I mean, and with Charles, man, he's just very, very passionate. He's a perfect, fit for Kansas City. But with him, it's just, timing and faith. He just has to have a complete full season of him being healthy, no trouble or anything like that where he can focus. And he's in line for that right now. So, I mean, he's always been in communication with everybody in the defensive line room. Everybody knows how hard he's worked and, the adversity that he's had to come through to even be in Kansas City or even come back to Kansas City. But I feel like, as he's getting older in his career, he's starting to develop a lot more football maturity to where he's like very focused, very direct, very in line with everything that he's doing. He has a different intent to him, and I know that he's hungry and he's a guy that wants to be successful, and he prepares like that. So it's very, very exciting to have him back, man. Looking forward to having him for an entire year healthy and seeing what happens because that's dangerous, man.
Yeah. Mark, you had something?
Yeah, I was going to ask, just talking about like the development of like the younger guys and being kind of the elder statesman. And I know draft season. Everyone's talking about. Then I see in the chat, it's like, oh, what young DTs does Mike Pennel wants to draft? And it's like we do have guys on the roster, and Fabian Lovett's one of them. I'm going to butcher his name, Siaki Ika, I believe that's how you pronounce it. What did talk about those guys? I mean, do you see those guys kind of having a role next year, and just kind of the development of those guys? Have you seen them when they came in to now potentially getting some rotations next year with Wharton gone and just kind of a new roster this year?
I mean, absolutely. The thing about the Chiefs is they're very intentional. So I mean, if they're not going to bring in, I haven't seen many scenarios where a guy's just a camp body. They're really bringing guys to evaluate, or people that they see have, all types of, all the intangibles, talents, all types of things where they can be a player that is successful and produce. So with Fabian, man, he's just extremely athletic. He reminds me a lot of me coming into the league the rookie year, kind of technique a little raw, but he's strong as an ox. He's athletic. He's taking everything seriously every day. He's a guy that's in early. He's taking notes from Chris. He's asking. He literally prepared as he was playing every week. I know that sounds cliche, and JD would say a lot of guys say that, but this man was literally, giving notes and giving tips to us, and I would be able to bounce off and have conversations with him as a rookie and be like, well, what do you see? I mean, do you see any tips with the alignment, the stance, or anything like that? You see any tendencies that maybe I don't see? And he's very immersive in those conversations. He's very intellectual. He's very, intentional with his preparation. So, Fabian's going to be good, man. I hope that it's here, but if it's not, I know that, everything that he's doing now, it'll set him up to have success in the league. Siaki, he came to us late, but he's a great personality, man. He's a big body. He's explosive with his first step. He's kind of just a guy that has to hone in on being a dominant player on rundowns, and then he'll be able to have success where he wants to. That takes a little bit of time in this league, but being here, how we prepare, the coaches we got, all you got to do is sit down and take notes. I mean, I know, I've been in a bunch of places, but being in the Kansas City building, I feel like there's multiple Hall of Fame coaches at every level that we're learning from on a daily basis. And like JD can explain, I mean, that's something that, you can't take for granted. That's something that's not everywhere. We have a head coach that's going to be in the Hall of Fame, a DC that's going to be in the Hall of Fame, and a special teams coach who's going to be in the Hall of Fame that has league-wide respect. So when these guys are speaking and these guys are telling you about techniques, you don't have to second guess it. They've seen the type of player you are. They've seen that there's nothing that you've done that they haven't seen. So it's just, being in that atmosphere like that. And, I just try to tell a lot of the guys, just absorb everything, whatever a coach is telling you. And, everybody is approachable. I mean, I've never seen, like he said, the Hunt family, they know everyone's name. I mean, Clark's come to, he said, "Al, my son doing?" I'm kind of like, whoa. They'll come shake our hands right before the game. But it's like that with our coaches as well. We'll be at lunch, and you see, an assistant D-line coach meeting up with the linebackers, what they see. Everybody is integrated. Everybody is immersive in the game, the technique, or what else they can see from everywhere. So we'll have lunch or we'll have breaks, and nobody's going anywhere. Everybody's talking football. And that's like a real – it's just crazy that everybody, is on the same mission. We don't have, star players that have their own agenda. Everybody wants to win. Our stars want to win, so it's easy to trickle down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's a special place, man. I'm just happy to be a part of it, trying to be a part of it as long as possible.
Man, you can see the friendships and the relationships y'all developed, just how y'all interact with one another. Like you were saying too, like just the egos. It doesn't seem like anybody sitting over there feel like they better than anybody else. It feels like everybody wants everybody else to be successful. And I think it's what it starts at the top. No question about it. I had Andy when I was coming in. Andy was a tight end coach with the Green Bay Packers. My last year in Philly was Andy's first year in Philly. I left Philly, came to Kansas City. So I've known Andy for a long time, like I said, and of course Spags, his defense up in New York and stuff, went against Stray and all them dudes for a minute. But you said a good thing there. I think the cachet of the coaches that you have, right, is incredible. I don't think there's any other staff out there that's like it in NFL. And so when we sit there, we talk about not just players in itself. We're not just talking about organizations, but we're talking about also two coaches, okay, and the pedigree that they come from, the years that they've known. Like you said, you could take everything they tell you to the bank. Like you said, there's no second guessing this. I mean, Joe gonna know. Joe, you ain't gonna listen to Joe. I'm like, man, who's not gonna listen to Joe? If Joe tell you something to do, how you not gonna listen to that, man? Like seriously, right? You don't think Spags know what he's talking about over here? You know, it's like, I don't think so. No, man, come on. No, like, yo, young fella, listen, this man right here, do you know who he's coached and what he's done?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Mike. I always ask this players, what would you tell a young Mike Pennel, a young player like yourself coming into the league right now? What would be maybe the main thing you would tell yourself when you got into the league?
Now, is this now like, that I have NIL before, or this is like, oh, Mike, when it was 420? Because these guys' mentality is a little different right now.
That's true. That's true.
It started off a little different than we started off.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying. You're right. You're right on that. You're right. Okay, so I'll do a caveat for that. So I say, no NIL. You still just make it, regular money. You know what I mean? Just coming in. Okay.
All right, for me, man, I would just project patience, patience and confidence. Because with me, I was so impatient when I came in my rookie year. I wanted to play immediately. I thought I was better than I was. I didn't really sit and work on my technique and watch film how I was supposed to. So I would express to myself, be patient and be confident. If you believe that you're going to do what you say you're going to do, or you feel you're going to do in the NFL, then go to every day and work like you're supposed to. And I think that from my rookie year would have helped a lot more, because there would have been a lot more things in my first 1 to 3 that I would have taken more seriously. That didn't take me until year 7 to take seriously. So patience and confidence, man, because in this league, to stick around, you have to be confident in yourself. And confidence come with that work ethic. So if you're not putting in the work, you know that it's not happening on the field. How can you be confident in your play? So it's good to see that, what's the work you put in from the years you're jumping from 1 to 2 to 3, your body's getting different, your mind, your reaction time on the field is different. Now coverages, now stances, now situations. You have to just keep on progressing. You have to keep on having that confidence and patience that's going to get, a little easier for you as you go, because now you know what to do. But, I mean, when you continue to put in the same work, then it becomes easy. It becomes mundane. It's just something that you normally do. And that's just something that I would always tell my younger self to do, because I could have just been way better than I was earlier. You know what I mean? So I'm grateful for how I was, but patience and confidence, man.
Yeah, that's a good word. That's exactly it, man. I tell people all the time, it's not arrogance, it's confidence. You got to have confidence in the things that you can do. You have to have it. And like you said, patience in itself goes into it, right? Because everybody comes up there, everybody's good, but he's just like, man, look, I done knocked the joker on his butt plenty of times. I can do this over here, and it's just finding that right timing to get in, to kind of the flow and whatnot. I say that the Chiefs, man, kind of reinforced, your value, man, when they came back to come get you. They was like, look, man, this is the guy that we need. Mike is all of that. And so it also too reinforces the confidence that you have in your ability of just knowing that.
And that is the most validating thing that you can get as a player that's later in your career, because you might have the opportunity as a younger player. They might be like, we have time to develop you. But when you get older and how the contracts, and JD knows how the contract is set up and how your salary cap hit is set up, if you're not valuable on and off the field, you're not going to be there. So having the validation from Veach, Spags, Coach Reed, because no decisions are made on their own. Everybody's a collective there. There's no, as there's places where there's different. Everybody makes a decision. Everybody knows who's in there, who's coming out. So to have that confidence, that shows right there. It just only makes me want to work harder. I mean, like I said, Hall of Fame coaches that believe in you. You're not a football player, that don't get you up, man. I don't know what you're playing for, man. That's like that right there, where it's like, okay, Coach Reed and Spags and Joe Cullen got confidence in me to do this at this time. So
you got to love it. I mean, when you start 11 to 12 years, you got to love what you do. Right?
Absolutely.
You can't be out there just half stepping. Oh, okay, man, I'm just kind of going to work. No, it's none of that, man. You got to love the game in itself, and you got to love the people that you're around. And so I could tell, man, by the way that you speak about the organization, your fellows that's all right there with you, all your warriors that you play with, man, that you love it. You love them, man, and it just shows, Mike. It really absolutely shows. So, man, I tell you, man, I'm just so happy, brother. I'm so happy, man, that we got you for another year at least. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, sir.
hope we get you for a little bit longer. I don't know how long you want to do it for. You know, that's all up to you.
Until KC stop calling, we gonna keep answering. I'm trying to tell you. So that's just, and I'm just, and I've spoken with my family. My kids are older now. They're able to be at everything, and just now it's just like, it's my son motivating me to go. Oh, we still playing football. We still playing Kansas City. Yeah. So we got to do it. So if I'm able to be successful, I am on the field, do everything I can in the locker room, and the franchise and the coaches still believe in me to come back for year 13. By all means, I'm there. By all means.
Yes, sir. There you go, man. All right, everybody out there, y'all heard it here first, man. Y'all heard it here first. So.
Oh yeah. Chiefs Kingdom know how I'm rocking, man. I believe
Yes,
red.
sir. Oh yeah.
Come on, now. I left and wanted to come back for 2 years. Stop playing, yeah. Y'all know how. Come on, now. You know it's real when you on another team and you come on. Yeah, you know how it's. So I'm calling the locker room still. Stats, what's going on? How y'all doing, man? Yeah,
Right.
It's good, man. Yeah, man. It's good to be back, man. For real.
Was there any, obviously, free agency, you have teams calling you and whatnot, but like, was there any doubt that you weren't going to come back to Kansas City, or was that always kind of the plan? Or
well, agents and players are different, but my plan and how I spoke, we have a very transparent, relationship with Kansas City, from the coaches to the GM, you know what I mean? So I asked them, they know I wanted to continue to play. They know the things I wanted to do. But obviously you have to be, performing at a level to where they need you at that point. This is the NFL. This is not for long league, so they don't just give you a handout. So there were a couple of interested, but the situation here, knowing the system, knowing what's expected of me, and I mean, you're not going to turn down playing with Pat Mahomes. I mean, so being in that aspect, we're always in the mix, and being that it was my brothers, there was no other way that I seen it playing out where I wasn't going to be in Kansas City. So I appreciated their interest. My agents, we did their filters, but I was waiting on KC the whole time.
It's good, man. That's it. Tell you what, I made my decision. My last contract I made. I said, look, I told the GM, I said, look, man, hey, hey, this is what it's going to be. I said, either I'm coming in, I'm going to put more stuff in my locker, or I'm leaving out of here. But you know where I want to be, right? And I said,
and that's at the end of the day, good things right there, man. I that feeling you talking. That's it right there, man. That's it. This is, being needed and wanted, and the work that you're putting in. It's a transparent conversation. A lot of these guys, don't go to the table as much as an undrafted free agent or a journeyman would be in the NFL. You got to understand, you're on 6-7 different teams. That's 6-7 different times you're going to the table. 6-7 different times you have to talk to a GM about your flaws, your defects, your positives, your age, your injury history, all that. So when you're able to reach a point, in a place where you can sit there and be like, what are we going to do? And it's very transparent, no games.
Yeah, right.
And that's a blessing right there. That's a blessing.
Yeah. Because then all of a sudden it's in your hands. That's it. It's your hands, really.
And that's all we want.
That's right, brother. That's right, man. So.
Well, we're happy to have you back, Mike, and we love having you on. I mean, I think we could have you on for the entire episode of talk all season, social media trends going on. We can talk all that with you.
I'll definitely be back, man. Just let me know when. I'll definitely be back.
Absolutely. Can you do me a favor, one solid for me, real quick?
Yes, sir.
My grandson's birthday today. I just left his party, giving him a present. Can you say happy birthday to my grandson Avery? He's watching this thing right now.
Hey, Avery, What's going on, man? Happy birthday, brother. Have a good one. Live it up. Go Chiefs.
That's it, man. Yo, Mike, man, I appreciate it, brother. Seriously, man. I tell you what, man, it's been an absolute joy to have you on the show for the night, man, and definitely come back. Definitely come back. I know hopefully I'll be out there. I'll probably see you sometime, man, because I'm going to try to get out there, man, for either training camp, man, or one of those things, man. And I'll stop by, come see you. You know what I'm saying? Show you some love and all of that, man. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Looking forward.
Yeah. So, man, you might have to send me a couple of those cutoff shirts, man. I'm gonna have to get back in the gym, man. Get myself back together, get them right. So, the way you rock them, man.
I got you, brother. Oh, man.
Yeah. But look, man, everybody on here, man, in the chat, man, is to tell you, man, thank you for your time, man. Hope you have a blessed and successful season. blessings to you, my brother. Hey, go out there and just rock it out. Keep doing your thing, Mike, man. You're doing a great job. I'm telling you what, one of the unsung heroes. I don't say I'm an unsung hero. I think you're a hero on the team. I know what you do. I know what your impact is. I know your value. The Chiefs see it. They know it. All your family, everybody else know who you are, what you've done. You know what I mean? And so I just want to let you know, man, it's not being unnoticed. It's not.
Super Bowl legend to many of us. The Chiefs can call you Super Bowl legend,
Sir.
the way you threw around Trent Williams. So
I appreciate you, brother. You know that's on the highlight forever in life. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
God love it. I was like, hey, I love it too, you guys. It's on replay.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Oh, man. Yeah, that's in there, man. All right.
All right, Mike. Well, I'll definitely reach out again to have you on some other time, but really appreciate you, man.
All right. Appreciate you guys too.
All right, Mike. Appreciate it, man. Take care, brother.
Mike.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. All
right.
Well, I mean, he was already one of my favorite players on the team before this interview. I think I saw somebody, Millie Matrix said they have to get a Mike Pennel jersey, and I think I'm with them. I think I'm gonna have to get a Mike Pennel jersey. I think it's time, JD. I don't think I have the arms for it, but I'm trying to get back in the weight room to get my summer body right. So you know what? I think a number 69 Mike Pennel jersey is gonna look good on me. I think I have to do it now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. I told you, man. I'm a huge fan, man, and even now, so. Just seeing in his personality, everything, man, he confirms exactly who he is, who I thought he would be. And so it's just great to hear a guy like him who has, the amount of years that he's been able to do it at a high level for as long as he's been able to do it, just speaks volumes about the type of player he is, the type of person that he is, and personality. And sometimes, Marcus, everybody talks about on the field things, which are it's vital, it's important. And he's been able to do all those things as far as with the Chiefs. But another thing that he gives is his personality, which also is at a high level, like people seek it out. They covet guys like that. Having a Mike Pennel on your squad and on your team to help these younger players understand exactly what it means and what to be as a professional and as a player, dude, you can't put a price tag on that. You can't. You could try, but for somebody like him, shoot, man, he's an invaluable piece for the Chiefs, and that's exactly what the Chiefs understood by signing Mike. And I'm so happy and so thankful that they did that. So.
Yeah, and I loved hearing him say that. It seemed like no matter what kind of offer he's getting out there, it seemed like he wanted to come back to Kansas City regardless. And also, I love the fact that he is a lifelong Chiefs fan. I think that's awesome. And again, kind of, getting into the whole thing, it's like, guys like that aren't talked about enough, right? We hear people talk about box scores, all that stuff, but we don't really know the human side of Mike Pennel. We don't ever get to hear that, and I think that might play a part to why people don't want to bring guys like that back, because you don't really know them. But dude, this guy's grew up in Colorado, but he was born in Topeka. This guy's a Chiefs fan. The guy, when we were talking beforehand, usually you guys don't see this stuff, but before we have guests on, I'm talking to these guys backstage, and I'm like, JD, did you watch the Chiefs? Like, no, I didn't really watch Chiefs growing up, whatever. It's like, okay, well, JD, played for the Chiefs back in the day. When I said to him, he said, "Yeah, I know JD. I was watching the Chiefs back in those days." So, because okay, well, there you go. This guy knows his Chiefs stuff, and he said, "Yeah, the young guys they need to brush up on their film. They need to watch old football." That's this guy is a lifelong Chiefs fan, man. I think it's so cool. Man. That only adds to his whole the whole lore of Mike Pennel.
Oh yeah. Well, that just tells me, man, that he's home. He has high football IQ. I just recognized it was some good ball back there, man. And I know when he said he moved out to Colorado, they was probably giving the business, but I know he was holding his own, man, at that time. So you can just tell, man, that Mike is he's a super guy, totally, just all the way around. And so, for somebody like him, man, you just love to have him on your squad. But I mean, that for me to sit there and say he watched me, I was like, oh wow, okay, shoot, it made me feel good. I was like, it's just kind of one of those things, that you see that sometimes your legacy and things that you show, kind of other people do get to see it. And I'll say this, it's almost kind of the same thing. And this is why I appreciate guys like Mike is, for me, I didn't get a whole lot of catches, So when you look at my stats, they're like, well, what kind of player was you? Didn't catch a whole lot of balls. So I'm like, well, when I was folding up defensive ends and linebackers, that was my job. I catch a ball, a little bone here every once in a while, but I was out there playing. I was out there manhandling jokers. So that's what they asked me to do. And so, it don't always show on the stat line, but the coaches, the players, heck, the defenses went against, they would always talk about, Dunn, hey man, we recognize you. You know what we're doing out there. And I guarantee it's the same thing with Mike, where he don't show up on the sacks or the stat line. I'll watch him. I see him. I say, man, watch how Mike is doing it. Look how he's destroying his guard. Look how he's helping keep, the guard and the tackle and the backs off the linebackers. I mean, when you have a big guy up front like that, it's able to just destroy the line centers and guards, man, it makes Bolton those linebackers' jobs a lot easier. It does. So I think everybody needs to take their hats off, man, to a Mike Pennel, really. And all the guys up there on the line of scrimmage, on the defensive line. Because there's a lot of guys out there, man, do a whole lot of work. But, Mike was a guy that I think we needed to talk to hear from, and just hear from him, talk about him. I know we brought up a Menahu and stuff like that and some of the younger guys. But Mike, man, when he answered all those questions, Marcus, I mean, I was just like, daggone, this guy's got it. I mean, he could easily go into coaching right now immediately and make an impact.
Honestly, I probably wasn't going to ask him about the young guys when he started talking about the development of young guys and wanting to be a coach. I'm like, so I'm sure he's going to have a really good answer talking about some of the young guys who are in the room who we haven't drafted, right? But we have some young guys in the room, which a lot of people are forgetting about. But I was like, okay, he's talking about development of young guys being that leader. Like, okay, so might as well ask him about the young guys in the room. And he, amazing answer. Yeah. And also, I love the fact, too, I didn't even think about this. You don't really see a lot of Mike Pennel interviews yet. We see the press conferences that he does with the Chiefs, but him saying he kind of lurks in the shadows, doesn't really do the whole media stuff. And the fact that he said he watches our stuff and listens to your analysis on things, that tells us a lot about what we're doing here at Chief Concerns, that we are getting noticed by the players there. And that was nice to hear him say that about the show and hearing your analysis, JD.
It's good. Absolutely, man. I appreciate it, man. Because, I'm going to sit over here. I'm going to speak the truth, man. But all the, the things that Mike's been showing out on film, man, I've been appreciating every little thing he does. Seriously. So
yeah,
that was a good thing, man.
We keep it honest, and we're not no clickbait, none of the stuff that a lot of people put out there to get a lot of views. Like, some of our stuff gets views, some of it doesn't, but all the stuff is 100% real, and we no clickbait nonsense.
That's a fact. It's a fact, man. We ain't faking no funk over here. Not at all. Not at all. So.
And shout out Avery. Happy birthday, buddy. I know you don't really care about getting a happy birthday from me, but you got one from Mike Pennel tonight, so that's pretty
sweet. Too, man. Hey, man, come on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Avery loves you. Marcus, I
don't have two Super Bowl rings on my fingers, JD. I will say that was awesome. Mike Pennel giving Avery a shout out there. But happy birthday, Avery. I hope you have a good one, buddy.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate it. I know he appreciates it. So, it's good. John Harrison said Mike was bigger in Super Bowl 58 than people realize. He was blowing up the Niners O-line. He was. He absolutely was. And if you have any doubt, go back and go check it. Go watch what it was that he was actually doing. Like you said, that one is going to live in infamy is the one where he takes
Super Bowl legend because of that play.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big Trent, man, and puts him on his tail. I don't know how many guys have done that. I don't know if that's on film anywhere else. But I tell you what, that right there is on tape, on film, and it is going to be in the books on Super Bowl. All the time you start running these things back, sure. Mike got him some good film right there, baby. What up, Nat? Tell you, what up, little cuz? Yeah, Nat. So,
Wish you all best offseason interview I've seen so far. Loved it. Yeah, and I will say, I think that helps us on this show when we do get players to come on is you, JD. You make the players feel so comfortable. I know these guys go on ESPN, all these networks and stuff, people who have no idea what's going on. A, about some of these are people who didn't play the game, and B, people who did not play in Kansas City. I don't really understand the true what's going on inside Arrowhead and all that stuff that's going on in Kansas City. And I think you make a lot of these players, whether it be young players, be guys, and they're going into their 12th year like Mike Pennel, you just make these guys feel comfortable, JD. And I think that's a big shout out to you, man.
Well, brother, man, look, it's a brotherhood. It really is. And we, as players, we know what each other's been through. We know what everything, the rigmarole is. The dog days on the summer, during the off season, trying to get ready. And so you say when you inside the locker room, man, it is a family. It is absolutely a family. And so when I know guys have been in the league, I don't care if you played, one down or 1,000 downs in the league, man, you are part of a brotherhood that a lot of people just want to been able to accomplish. And so for a guy like Mike and everybody else that comes on here, hey man, we in the locker room. That's what it is. So those guys out there, they're my brothers. They're my brothers. And so that's how I view it. That's how I see it, because that's just really is what it is. So yeah, man, I just see the joy of Mike's face, man, because it's kind of funny because I know he brings you back to the locker room so much for a guy that's playing, just brings you back there. And I, had to come back from my coach's hat sometimes when I hear those things. But like Mike was saying, those guys are all tight together. Now I'm sitting over here, I'm getting text messages from, guys I play with at this moment. The 2003 team, we get on, we text together, but it's a family. It's a family, no doubt about it, man. And you learn a lot of that in Kansas City. You do.
Yeah, to hear what you guys said about the Hunt family, I thought that was really cool. How you said Lamar Hunt would know your names. You told me that story before, but then hearing him say the same kind of things happening now, it just tells you a lot about the Hunt family.
That's right. That's the truth. Yeah, that's who they are. No question about it. That's who they are.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.